Candy.
Yes. Candy.
Why is that like that? It's sometimes so weird to see how some shaders react with like some previous season shaders react with like modern stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay, before you start the stream,
Wait.
just look at this. Just look at this. What is this? Having a moment as I'm commenting how the fuck I look neon for some reason.
That's a good number of the shaders for some reason.
Eh,
A good number of them are very neon-like.
they're very vibrant, but the sketch paint one, honestly.
All right. So,
Hello.
welcome. Welcome as we talk about colors.
Yes.
Welcome to Colors with Guardians.
Yeah, no. Welcome to the Midweek Report Color Hour. Today we'll be going over the best shader styles. As I'm having a moment, like, going over my entire collection.
Yes.
That's the weird part. For years and years and years, as I played Destiny and Destiny 1, I would just collect shaders, right? And D2. Well, in D1, actually, they were purchasable, and they were, one-offs. Once you bought one and applied it, you need to rebuy it and apply it again if you wanted to apply it to something else, or reapply it to a piece you already applied it to for if you change the coloring. In Destiny 2, they're like, okay, we're gonna make shaders a permanent thing that once you unlock them for good. You don't need money to like apply them or reapply them.
Yeah.
Though I think you might have needed, like, you might need to have still spent money in the beginning, but that's just me.
No. Basically, how it worked is at first, in order to apply shaders, you had to go to every individual armor piece and apply the shader you wanted. But to apply the shader you wanted, originally you had to take out the shader you wanted. Like, you had to grab it from your inventory.
That's true.
And
They were still kind of
then you had to go and apply it with even more money. Then they removed the taking out money part and just made it so that you could just use some money to apply it. And now it's literally just, yeah, no, you have it, just apply it.
Yeah, no. It used to be like that in D1, the take out and apply, but it used to be you bought it from Eva Levante. And she would be that, because she used to be the kind of colorer of Destiny 2. Destiny 1, I mean. Which is kind of funny, because they kind of stuck her in, like, a little corner. Like,
I want you to look pretty, my friends.
Honestly. Speaking of Eva, happy Halloween, everyone! I know it's early. This is our early Halloween episode. We'll call it that.
Well, so this is when the Halloween event has started for Destiny, so.
That's true. That's true. So we have a little bit of reasoning to do it.
Yes. So
this is our Halloween episode.
Yeah, real quick, we'll go over some of the stuff going on here. So the Halloween event for Festival of Lost, it is.
Newt.
Yeah, Newt.
I had to do it. Anyways, as Justin was saying.
But yeah, Festival of the Lost has started for Destiny 2, so players can now go and basically don themselves a mask and collect candy, which then they can go and eventually cash in for different things with Eva. Right. When you first come in and get to the tower, Eva will give you a mask to select from down here. You can get either an Arc, a Solar, a Void, or a Stasis. I went with Void, that way I could kind of stick with the same loadout build that I have. And basically how it works, how this event works, is similar to last year, which is you collect these spectral pages by doing different activities, so Strikes, Gambit, Crucible, stuff like that. I think also seasonal event stuff as well. Like the Season of the Plunder activities, that might also give you that. I'm not too sure. I haven't tried it yet. But basically, you just do this, and then you do.
For him to be explaining things.
Yes. But after you've collected a sufficient amount that you feel comfortable with, or you just want to move on to the next step, you then go and do the Season of the Lost activity, which is right over here. It is right here that if you want to go and start it, or if you just want to start it from the tower, it is right here. And it is the same as last year, which is just go to different lost sectors and take on these season-haunted spectrals that you go and speed up, and then the more of them that you take down, the more pages that you manifest into pages like this one.
Okay, I'm gonna cut him off here. This is getting painful just to listen to.
I know. That's the whole point. It's called grinding.
This is why you don't do the explaining. You're terrible at it.
Yes, well, I make grinding sound boring because it's supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be. That's a good game
It's
design.
not
If
supposed
it's boring,
to be.
it's bad game design.
Perhaps. But
so, depression corner with Justin aside, he's not entirely wrong though. The point is that it is much like last year if you played it, which is you go out and you get candy for if you wear the Festival of the Lost, the Masquerade mask, which you get from Eva this year. This is Eva that he's showing you right now. Space Grandma, everyone respect.
All hail Grandma.
All hail Grandma. But anyways, you get the Masquerade mask, and you get one every year. Honestly, I actually deleted mine from last year or a few seasons ago that I still had.
I think I have mine as... I think I have 2 in my vault. Let me double check.
You get to keep yours from every year, so they don't go away. So it's like, you might still have yours.
It goes down to power level 0, which is actually useful for people who want to do cheesy stuff.
Yeah, honestly. If you want to do like a power level 0 run of something, then there you go.
There's my mask. Oh, no, it has power level now.
Yeah, no. But
I think they caught on.
I think they add them back in for the thing too, because it still technically works for this season too. If you want to use your old one, I still had one that was before. It
works, but it also doesn't work. Like you can't power level your old mask anymore. But that might be due to the fact that last year sunsetting was still a thing, and this year it isn't. So we'll see how it works with the masks this year.
The one I just deleted actually had power level, and that was from back in Season of Arrivals. Before they were even using Season of the Haunted symbol to represent the seasonal specific stuff.
Well, there you go.
But anyways, point is, you wear a mask and you get the chance. Well, if you wear the mask, then that opens up the avenue, as Justin said, to get candy. And in traditional Destiny style, how else do we get candy but with a shotgun?
The weaponry.
Of course. How else do you get candy but shooting enemies in the face and taking it?
Yes.
Why do the Fallen and Elixir and why do the Fallen and Cabal suddenly now all have candy drop when you shoot them with a mask? I don't know. Maybe they're in on this. I don't know.
Maybe.
But maybe.
But pretty much there's 2 uses for candy. You can either get the Epic Mystery Bag or the Mystery Bag. Both give you just random loot, but the Epic gives you more loot than the other.
Plus, it also gives you higher tier loot. The basic mystery bag will give you more rare weapons, whereas the legendary or the epic mystery bag will give you a legendary weapon and I believe some shards.
Yep, I got.
Plus, you also need to get
I got 3 enhancement cores and 1 legendary weapon, and then I'll do the lower tier one, and I just got 1 low tier weapon and 50 glimmer. So.
So there is
you get some stuff, but in reality, you're kind of much better off getting the epic. Yeah, I just got an upgrade module.
I mean, that is kind of the whole point. Besides, you also need and also what we probably should cover is much like for those who don't know, Destiny has been having this new shtick when it comes to the seasonal activities, and that they're trying to, well, I hate to say the M word, but they're trying to monetize the festivals more.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, profit is profit. Bungie doesn't exactly have any multi-making opportunities outside of the Destiny game because it's all they make these days.
Yeah.
So I can't fault them too much, plus they don't have a publisher paying their bills, so I don't know, take it or leave it. But the point is that there's a new format with festivals these days, and that comes in the form of, if you'd be so kind, Justin, to go to your quest tab, so to demonstrate to our wonderful audience.
Yeah, I can see it with Eva.
Yeah, there you go.
The event challenges.
Bingo. This is a new concept, like I said, that came around this year, and it started in our last season event, which was, honestly, what the hell was it called? Solstice of Heroes, that's it. They shortened it to Solstice this year, but that's beside the point. And the event card. That's a new thing, like I said, that came in this year. If you'd be so kind to click on it so I can go over it.
Yep.
I'll just go over it on my end because I can't see what you guys are seeing. So I'll just go over it on my end, and
But
Justin will just pantomime what I'm saying.
yeah, but basically over on the quest tab, like how Season of the Plunder has its own little button that you can go and see the different challenges, just like Solstice of Heroes little bit ago.
This year.
This year.
A little bit ago.
Basically, it's now the challenges are now split in the middle, and you can now see the event challenges as well as the seasonal challenges. And going over to the event challenges, it is going to give you the same page that you saw while I was over at EVA, which is the Festival of Lost event card, and yeah.
Yep, and going over a little bit here, if you don't remember from last year, or, well, not last year, last event, the event card, everyone starts off with a standard one, to our knowledge. Unless you buy it separately per event, you don't get an upgraded card immediately. That goes back to my previous comment about them trying to monetize it. But again, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, I mean. If you go into the bottom, you can see the upgraded event card awards. The first thing, which is the event pack. They always have these with the event card now. You can claim these prizes immediately if you upgrade the event card. And then going over to the side, you have things like the Caramel Apple Shell, the Investigative Dance, etc., etc. These are things that you get access to if you have the event card, but not entirely, which brings us all the way back to the challenges. As Justin mentioned, that there are challenges with the season, which is not an entirely new concept, nor the rewards that come with them, but there's a little new trick to them that came with this year in the way they're doing events nowadays. And that is, if you'll just scroll over one, Justin, there, basically everyone, you'll see that there is a reward titled Event Ticket. Now, this is specific to the event itself. Again, this has to do with the new style of events they're using nowadays. If you get an upgraded event card, so you pay to get an upgraded event card, you can make use of these tickets. Now, even if you don't have an upgraded event card with your standard one you get just for doing the event, you can still get tickets by completing these event challenges, and you get those tickets along with the regular rewards you get from this. So, for example, Bookworm 2 gives you the Pulp Texture, which is a shader, 2 enhancement cores, as well as 1 event ticket. Each one generally gives you just 1. Now, what do you do with these event tickets? Well, if you notice on the bottom, the inquisitive among you will have noticed that each one of the bottom, let's call it rewards, will have a associated ticket number beside them, and that's how many tickets you need to redeem to get that reward. And again, these are only eligible if you have an upgraded event card, so if you don't have an upgraded event card, event tickets are basically useless.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you can't get anything out of, like I said, the actual rewards themselves. Like I said, going back to Bookworm 2, you still get the Pulp Texture reward whether you have a upgraded card or not. Same thing with Bookworm 3 and the Coffin Nail Ship. So there are rewards you get for just having played the event. So there's no, it's not like there's no incentive to play it if you don't have an upgraded ticket. This is just an extra level of monetization to them. So that kind of covers the Festival of the Lost event card system and the way they do things nowadays. Side note I should probably mention as well is that for those who aren't aware, this is continuing on with the kind of uniformity that they're going on with the Triumph system, which is they introduced 2 new Triumph seals when the Solstice came in, which was the last event that first introduced the event ticket system, and that was the Flamekeeper seal as well as the Reveler seal. Now, the Flamekeeper seal was a specific Triumph around Solstice itself. You can get that Triumph for just doing the events of Solstice, but it also helps you with the Reveler seal. Reveler is kind of catch-all Triumph they're using for all of the events in the year that generally exist in the Destiny calendar. To unlock this particular seal, you need to participate and do the associated triumphs in all of the events around the season. So, like I said, last time there was Solstice, and I already got all the Solstice ones. I'm not sure if Justin has all of his I don't think so, because he was gone that time, so I'm guessing not.
I was only able to get, like, a little bit out of Solstice this year.
No, he was gone anyway.
Yeah,
so
I was gone, so I wouldn't have been able to do much.
But, again, my point still stands. To get the Reveler, you have to do the events associated with the activities of that year. So, again, like I said, get the Solstice stuff, you already have that, you've already got 1 of 4 done. Now all you need is Festival of the Lost, which we're already in. That's the October event. The Dawning, which is the Christmas event, which we'll probably touch on when that rolls around later on in the year. And then you have Guardian Games, which is the spring event. And that, again, that's much more a recent event that technically was an Olympic event that's kind of celebrating the Olympics.
Yeah, out of all the events, the Guardian Games was one event that wasn't really around for very much time, but has been brought back recently.
Right. It was originally meant to be, I think, just a thing to celebrate the Tokyo Olympics back in 2020, but between of COVID and da-da-da-da, they ended up pushing it back because the Olympics itself got pushed back, and it'd be kind of weird to have an Olympic kind of thing if the Olympics themselves weren't going on. Or maybe it did go on.
Though I'll say this for what it is. It'd be kind of ironic if Bungie didn't bother doing the Guardian Games ever again and just went and said, "Yeah, no, all of you won, which means all of you are special and perfect."
Yeah, that'd be me, like, I'll give you that much.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no, nobody's gonna be better than anyone else. You're all perfect together.
Boy. Snowflakes all around, children. But
yeah,
anyway.
No, I mean, it would be funny. It would honestly be funny.
It would be funny, I'll give you that much. But yeah, no. Technically, that's the weird part. A little bit of a history, if we may. Take us to orbit, Justin, because this might get a little dull if we just kind of hang around the tower.
Okay, well, I quickly will go over this. Make sure, for anyone who is taking part in this event, if you're collecting candy, this week and every week following, make sure you climb up both this tree and the tree over by the other courtyard area. So there's one tree over by Ikora and Hawthorne.
One tree over this way.
Yeah, there's one. Well, I'm looking on the map. So there's one tree right at Eva, which is where we are, which is the main courtyard. And then over at the secondary courtyard / bazaar is where Ikora and Hawthorne are. Just right north. I don't technically map northwise of away from the traveler. I don't know exactly what direction is north.
He's the hunter.
Yeah, well, I don't know which way is north because it's kind of hard to determine what north is when nobody's ever said which direction is north. I could go and say traveler direction and not traveler direction.
Just walk over to the darn tree.
Yes, you want me to be the one to go and map things out, then give me a direction.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a hunter, and they're supposed to be good with directions.
Hey, I am good with directions, but it kind of doesn't help when you actually have a mathematical direction to go off of. Either way, here's the other tree. This tree, I think, spawns, what, 3 candies?
Something like that.
Yeah, this one spawns 3, and then the other one is either 4 or 5. And either way, you can get a good chunk of candy out of the 2 of them, so I'd recommend every week do that, because that is just free loot.
Basically, yeah. You can climb up the tree, and you'll see basically the same kind of triangles you'll see out in the game world when you get candy generally. And if you collect them, instead of being 1 or 2 pieces, which you'll normally get out in the world, there will be 50 a piece, and if you climb all the way to the apex of these trees, there will be 250 pieces of candy.
Yeah,
so
basically you'll see blue. Yeah, you'll see blue ones on here that'll be a lot more than just the average one that you would get out in the normal world. Those are the 50. Then you'll see a purple one that's basically the same shape as all the others. That's the big one that you really want to go for.
I've never noticed this purple. Then again, I'm colorblind, so.
Yeah, well, you know, that's.
Technically, it's red-green colorblind, though it just might be my ineptitude for not noticing that. But
yeah,
anyway,
well, purple, I'm pretty sure, is part of red, so yes. Also,
anyways.
I am up here again. I remember the old days when I was able to get up here.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and you
just I climbed along the building side to get up here. I don't feel like going through that hell again. So.
Oh yeah, that was gonna. So my previous comment about Guardian Games. Here's the weird part. Destiny has always had a bit of a weird relationship with spring holiday events. The Dawning and Festival of the Lost have been going on since almost Destiny 2 started, and I think even Destiny 1. You know, Destiny 1.
Yeah, I think it started in Destiny 1. It's just been continuing since.
Yeah, no. I'm not sure about Festival of the Lost, though. That one might have been a more... No, Festival of the Lost, I think, is also a Destiny 1 thing they brought over. But yeah, these are 2 very old events celebrating, like I said, October, Halloween, and Christmas, respectively. And, of course, Solstice, it's weird. Solstice was originally a thing that happened near the end of D1's lifespan as this kind of last hurrah for the game. And it just ended up kind of existing every year as a summer event after that, because it just kind of ended up happening. But yes. Spring events have always been interesting, as Bungie never really had one for a long time. They tried to introduce one back in the early days of D2, if memory serves. And that was called, interestingly enough, Revelry. That one I vaguely remember because I vaguely participated in it, but from what I end up remembering and hearing in the years since, it was a massive failure. The rewards you can still see in the older sections of, for example, your equipment tab in collections for things like ghosts and sparrows. And you can kind of see what they were offering back then, of spring-themed stuff, all that kind of things. But like I said, considering it failed, they never really did it again. I don't even think you can get that armor anymore. Like, it's never even come up anymore. But, so they never really had an event for a long time after that. And like I said, only 2-3 years ago, in 2020, they introduced Guardian Games to kind of celebrate the Olympics. And because of real-world issues, that kind of ended up being weird, but it was a massive hit, at least compared to the Revelry event, Spring Revelry. So that ended up staying, and that's just kind of become the spring event ever since. So like I said, Bungie's had a weird relationship when it comes to spring events. What are you doing?
Do we want to start the activity, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, no, just go. I was just having a talking moment.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted me to go to orbit or do this and go to orbit.
No, it's all right. I'm just having a story time with our audience.
Yes.
Nothing's more.
History lesson with Warlock.
Honestly, I was actually listening to a Dipped in Dopamine episode. Shout out to him, actually, a day or two back, and it's like that one time, and he did a skit where it's like that time when a streamer does not start the game and he just keeps talking, and it's like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want us to be that guy. So just go.
Too late.
But anyways,
we're a podcast.
So yeah, we'll play the Haunted Lost Sector event, and you can kind of see what it's like for those who don't play Destiny, or for those who don't remember what last year's.
Basically, it's the exact same thing as it was last year, which is you start out the Lost Sector, you clear it out like you normally would.
Don't spoil it.
What do you mean, don't spoil it? It's the same thing as last year.
Why tell when you can show?
Okay, I'll tell and show at the same time. You spawn in, you start beating the shit out of these guys.
Hunters, no tact.
But basically, you'll get the hang of it really quickly. Though I will note that if you're trying to farm pages, there is a good strategy that you can use. Also,
is it still valid?
What do you mean?
Is the strategy from last year still valid?
I don't know exactly which one you're referring to.
Okay, I'll tell you later. But
okay. But basically, in order to transfer your spectral pages into normal pages, you have to take on the whole primary enemy of this activity.
By the way, for those who don't remember, because I don't remember if you covered it or not, you get two types of pages in this event. And by just completing regular activities like strikes and whatnot and PvP matches, you get spectral pages, right? But those are pretty useless unless you go to this activity and manifest them into manifested pages. And how you do that is, well, you'll see.
Yes. I will note, I think they took the exact same activities from last year and then just made a couple new ones with Ido.
I believe so. I mean, they also took the ones from last year that are old ones, and they added Ido and Drifter dialogue as well.
Okay. Well, at least they did that then. But basically how it works is these will spawn, and you have a limited timer on them before they despawn. My recommendation is, if you're trying to go for spectral pages farming, collect all of them. Every single one you see. Always go and spawn the boss guy here. Always. Even if you don't even if you don't think your team's gonna be able to handle it all right away, doesn't matter, spawn it, because it'll stay spawned the moment you spawn it. These, on the other hand, will despawn if you don't get it in time.
Right. Also, side tangent. If you see one, if you don't, like, the only way you get credit for it is if you actually do damage to it.
Yeah, so literally
So,
just
even if you
shooting
don't
it
kill
for a
it,
little
just do
bit, like,
damage.
literally me shooting it for a good second there and throwing a knife, should be more than enough to
Give you credit for the kill and give you the page.
Yeah.
Also, there is a glitch I should mention. If you'll notice in the bottom left of Justin's screen, there's something that says all spectral pages manifested. That's actually a bug, if memory serves, from what I've been seeing. What that should actually be is a counter that tells you how many spectral pages you've manifested so far.
Technically how it's supposed to work is it's supposed to be like a number, and then if all of your pages, like all the ones that you actually have on you, are being manifested, then it will say all pages.
Then it will say all spectrally manifest. But for some reason it's just glitching out and saying, you know, all of them manifested even though they're not. Don't worry, you still get credit for the pages, from what I've seen, even if it just says that. Because technically you can also keep track by seeing how many headless ones you've slain. Well, it says slain, but technically it just gives you credit for the kill if you didn't kill it yourself. So that's another way to keep track.
Yeah. Also, try not to kill that one just yet.
Oh? Alright.
I want to try to get a bullet off on it. Why are you running?
Fun fact about the... Why are you running? Fun fact about these headless ones, as they're so named. They're actually Destiny's equivalent to Boogeyman, almost. Or, Bigfoot. For a little bit of lore moment with me.
Alright, as I go and get bombarded and nobody goes for this one, I will quickly spawn this one.
Oh, you're fine.
Yes, but I want all of the pages.
Let's be honest, you're doing this because of the kill streak, not because of the pages.
No, I'm doing this because of the pages. I just want it done. I'm not missing out. I am not missing out on another event.
I do this because I'm a lore nut and I like to farm pages. You do this just because you do have to do it.
I want loot. I want loot.
Some people so shallow.
Yes. Also, see, it's almost out.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me see if I get there. Okay, I'm good.
It should spawn. Okay. I'll go get A. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. Bad touch, bad touch.
Bad touch.
Bad touch. Stranger danger, stranger danger. Bad touch.
Fucking cursed thrall walks up behind me. Almost killed me. Scared the hell out of me. The scariest part about Season Lost is getting killed by cursed thrall. And that's not even a Halloween specific thing.
Yes. I will quickly note for everyone who is watching, when it comes to the candy that drops, I don't know exactly what's the parameter that'll put it in your postmaster, but
I think it's just if you can't collect it.
Yeah.
If you don't get it.
Well, no, I think in a normal strike, it doesn't go in your postmaster, but if you're doing this activity, then it'll go in your postmaster. I'm not.
No.
I'm not 100% sure.
If my memory postmaster is correct, if you just don't get around to collecting it, it will go to your postmaster.
But there's been a couple that I've done in strikes that I've missed, and it didn't go in my postmaster.
Well, that's just a glitch then.
Yeah, like that's why I say I don't know exactly what the parameter is. But
it should just be if you don't collect it.
Yeah. Either way, now that we're in the final part, a boss will spawn, and after a point, a shield will be put onto the boss when we go down the phases. At which point, more of the headless ones will spawn that we need to go and summon. Basically, if you want to go and manifest as many pages as possible, we got 10 pages from the first half. Now, during this part, you only really need to summon like 1 or 2 headless ones in order to defeat the boss. But if you want to go and like get as many pages out of this, technically 4 headless ones could spawn, so you want to summon all 4 of them.
Perhaps you should teach them how the activity works before you start giving them farming techniques.
Yeah, I know, but basically how this last part works is the boss has a shield now. When we defeat this headless one, pumpkins will spawn that we have to go and use to destroy the shield. Basically, just like any other...
Real headless morphing stick.
Yeah, basically, you'll see him throw it, and then the shield breaks. At this point, after, I think, 2 pumpkins...
There we go.
Yeah.
2 will do.
Yeah, 2 pumpkins, then the shield breaks, which is why you only really need 2 headless ones in order to defeat the boss. But, like I said...
Or at least get his shield off for that one time.
Yeah, because the shield will go up 2 times. So if you want, like I said, to manifest as many pages as possible, you really want to go and summon as many of them as possible, which I don't know.
He's hiding in the corner.
There we go. I was going to say, where is he at? So basically, at this point, we just need to go and hurt the boss more until the next page spawns. Or until the next 2 headless ones spawn. I don't know. I'm not thinking.
Basically, you hurt the thing until his bar goes down by another quarter. Or another third. Is it third? Yeah, it's probably third.
Yeah, every
another third, and then he'll basically put up his immunity shield, and then it's just back to some headless ones, kill headless one, take pumpkin.
Yeah, there are 5, so you spawn that one. I'll go and get C. Actually, no, go grab A.
Okay. If I don't die, I probably should be fine though.
I will provide you cover, brother.
Brother.
Brother! Our enemies surround us, brother.
Honestly, I was playing Warframe yesterday, and the amount of enemies that spawned in one section, like they were like, I literally counted them. I think it was like 30, 40 enemies at one moment, and it was like the apocalypse in front of me.
Yes. And the boss just got defeated, luckily, as we defeated the other headless ones. No, if the boss is defeated before the headless ones are defeated, they will despawn and you don't get any pages. So,
you have to actually kill them.
Yeah, you do have to two things you have to do in order to get pages out of them. 1, damage them at least a little bit, and 2, you have to actually kill them. So, like, doesn't matter if you kill them or not, as long as you damage them and they are defeated, you will get a page out of it.
Also, if you do the oh my goodness. While you're doing this, if you actually play the missions, you will also get the holiday weapons that are specific to these events. So,
yes.
For example, I got a drop of the Braytech Werewolf and Jurassic Green.
I think
you'll also get the holiday-specific weapons.
Yeah, I think during the weapons can only be dropped during the activity.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to farm like a good weapon, you have to do the actual activity.
Also, I believe you can get them from goodie bags on rare drops.
Maybe.
They're not entirely in the activity. You can get them from the epic goodie bag, but.
But basically, this is the event. You're just going to be going back and forth between some of the normal activities like strikes, Crucible Gambit, and then every once in a while coming over to this activity and just going and farming out your pages. As you do that, eventually you'll go back over to Eva and dump the pages off over at a lantern right beside her.
Actually, it's a good idea. Go back to the tower. This is a good idea to demonstrate that.
We can't really do that.
As I hear the next thing, fine. One more run, then we'll demonstrate. But...
Yeah. But basically here, I can show on the map. I'll go and look on the tower map real quick. Basically, right over by Eva, there's a lantern right in between the activity start that I showed you before, and where Eva actually is. So there's that. Also, we get to hear Ido go and talk about the event right now. So there's that.
Right, Ido and the Drifter, because I think when they originally did this stuff when they originally introduced the new Haunted Lost Sectors, it was still 2020, and COVID was a thing, and they couldn't get the Drifter's voice actor in.
Yeah. Which is actually the reason why the Ghost goes and does a Drifter impression during that one mission during Beyond Light.
Because they couldn't actually get the Drifter voice actors, so they were like, hey, Nolan North, who plays the Ghost, so like, can you do a Drifter impression?
It's like, alright. This works out.
And it just became so funny that we're just like, you know what, we'll just leave this as the Ghost doing a cheeky impression. But, Yeah, with Ido and the Drifter being the focus of this season, it makes sense that they would be added in, especially considering Ido is kind of like this scholarly figure. So it'd be kind of funny that she's involved going after, you know, helping Glint again this year as he goes after his headless ones, who, like I said, are Destiny's equivalent to Bigfoot when it comes to, like, how people treat them.
I don't know if anyone noticed that, but my knife did, like, a full directional homing missile turn.
Nah,
I did not throw anywhere near that headless one, and I just saw it move right to him.
Just yoke.
It's like, I'm going to connect to you now.
90-degree turn.
That's literally the hunter throwing knives in a nutshell. Literally just, one moment, let me go and just directional homing missile onto you. Other moment, I'm just going to go to outer space.
Go to space.
Also, I don't think I took part in that kill, so I don't get anything out of it. Meh.
That's alright.
Well, we'll see at the end. I technically
Also,
I didn't take part in all the kills in the last one, but yeah, I got 13 pages, so.
I got only 9. Huh. But, that's unfortunate.
What?
But, that you got 13, I only got 9.
Well, I think you took part in less kills than I did, so.
Yeah, that's probably it. You were summoning them like mad and just getting one-shots off.
Yeah, well, like I said, I want the pages done.
That's also one of the triumphs to get pages, also. So.
Yes. Also, quick side note: the seasonal challenges. Mind telling the audience how they will be able to actually see what the challenges are? Because for me right now, all of them are secrets.
Okay. So, how you get the seasonal challenges to show, and this is another shtick they introduced with the new format of how the seasonal events work, is that there's kind of an introductory quest you do, right?
Yeah.
And that helps you going around putting on your mask this season, you know, helping Eva, getting a goodie bag for the first time, that kind of things. You know, the basic kind of gets you into tune of what happens with the event. After you get to, like, near the end of the event, you'll actually officially unlock a triumph. Your first triumph of the set, and unlocking that first triumph will reveal all the rest of the challenges.
Okay. So when you've unlocked one of the challenges, the rest of them are done. Or the rest of them will show.
Once you unlock the first challenge. The only way to unlock the first challenge is to actually go through the,
So basically, when I talk to Eva, the challenges should show up.
Once you get to a certain point, it will basically ask you to go in here, get the spectral pages, da-da-da-da-da. You've already probably done that, so it'll probably already count.
Yeah, it's right now asking me, the quest is asking me to go talk to Eva, so I'm guessing after I talk to Eva, I'll be able to actually see what it all is.
After a little bit, it'll actually, to actually unlock it, you actually have to do the first challenge in the set. And that, basically, it's a give you challenge. To do that, you just go through the quest, and it'll eventually just give you that challenge.
Okay.
And once you finish that challenge, then all the rest will unlock, so, don't fret if you don't see all the challenges right away. It's not because of a time thing.
I mean, I understand most people's feelings when it comes to the challenges, and some of them being very, actually challenging. But
I mean, like,
if the first one that's meant to be a gimme to unlock everything is a gimme, then I'd be willing to bet it's just literally do something you'd normally do, and it'll be done.
Not all of them. Some of them can be pretty grindy, like one of them is...
But yeah, no, like referring to the first one, if it's meant to be a gimme.
Oh yeah, no. The first two is just a gimme. It's just, go through, do the introduction quest, and once you get... At a certain point in the introduction quest near the end, you'll finish the challenge, and that, actually, funny enough, that part of the introduction quest is literally to introduce you to the seasonal challenges, so that's why it's a gimme quest. Because it's meant to be easy to introduce you to the concept.
Yeah. I'm surprised two haven't spawned at the same time. We've only been getting ones.
They only ever spawn one at a time. I've never seen them spawn more than one at a time.
Well, they're
what, you mean the circles?
Yeah, the circles.
Oh, no. I thought you meant the...
Yeah, no, like, we've only been getting ones, not like twos or the odd 3. And now no more are gonna spawn.
Yeah, because it's so close to the timer. It might just be RNG.
I will say, though, my first run doing this was very unlucky, where they stopped spawning the final minute before it ended. So we were literally sitting around for a solid minute, like, there is nothing here to do.
Circles probably comes from a dive boss. Find them and take them down, Guardian.
Take them down, Guardian.
That's a good one. Forgive me, I was laughing at some actual dialogue. That was a good one.
Yes, I had dialogue too, but it was more dialogue that I've heard many times last year.
Oh, this one was basically between Ido and Drifter, and basically Ido knocked Gambit.
Oh, makes sense. That seems like an Ido personality trait.
Yep.
Oh, get B, get B.
Get 100 pumpkins in the face.
Please don't just demolish the boss, Titan, or Warlock. I don't know what you are. You're a Warlock.
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
I can't know the other guy.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
Please,
right now.
please, Warlock, do not kill the boss. Please.
Oh.
Warlock. Warlocks.
I'm
referring to both of you.
Hey, you're gonna have to work for it.
I am working for it. Why do you think I'm summoning them?
This is a time trial. Come on, do time trial.
Yeah. I wonder what I'm doing. Spawn already. Damn it.
Okay, I didn't kill it. That wasn't me.
I know. That was the other one. And people say I'm the killmonger.
Also, I probably should mention, but near the end of the event, people will start getting like that. The event just started, but just saying, near the event end, people might start getting like that.
Yeah, no, everyone's like that immediately because the actual tryhards have already completed everything. AKA level 185 has already completed everything. I'm pretty sure he's already done everything in this event.
How? He would need to grind like...
There are people who reach level 100 in the season ranks on day 1 of a new season.
Yeah, but that's just because they just amass quests that they don't complete. And
that and combination of massive amounts of grinding and being with their friends to go and boost XP even greater.
That's true.
Like, there's nothing saying that they wouldn't be able to do basically the same thing. Just get their friends, grind them out all in one go, and then boom.
Oh, by the by, I probably should mention to our audience.
Yes.
The event quests from EVA, there will be weekly quests that will give you 1,000 candy and 250 glimmer.
Yeah,
or 250.
The bounties that you see here that I have, these are things that you want to do. It'll give you actually a generous amount of bright dust as well.
250.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare these days.
Yeah, so a pretty generous amount of bright dust for the continuous ones that you can just constantly keep grabbing every day. You can just get as many as you want. But there's basically your daily quests, your weekly quests, and then your random general quests.
Yeah.
Or not really quests, but bounties, but still.
Anyways, the weekly ones that EVA has for seasonal stuff, I would recommend doing them, especially for Seasonal Lost. They're really easy to do. Like I said, one of them is literally just do 3 haunted lost sectors every week.
Yeah, they're a lot easier than other weekly bounties might be.
Right. And those will give you 1,000 candy and 250 bright dust, which is the premium currency in the game. So
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it's basically. Note this, no matter what, during every Destiny event, yearly event, my tip, grind it out, do the bounties, because if you want bright dust, now is your time to farm bright dust. Now is the perfect time to be farming bright dust.
Also, side note I probably should mention to our audience, if you come over to this plinth here, we previously mentioned that there would be a place to deposit your pages.
Yes, and I've now gained access to do so.
Technically, where Justin is looking right now, there should be a book on this platform. The Book of... What is it? The Tome of the Lost, something like that?
Book of the Forgotten?
Book of the Forgotten, thank you, that's it.
Yes.
There should be one here. Funny enough, last year there was a bunch of lore you could also unlock for doing the pages, which are what the pages are for. There is again this year. It's actually volume 2 of the book this year, which is quite a clever idea. This allows them to just keep doing it in perpetuity. But anyways.
But basically, here's the first page. I'll show this and then not show the rest, because if anyone wants to actually go through the lore, you either have to A, wait for the lore masters to go through it, or B, go through it yourself. But I'll be generous and show you the first one.
Also, be warned, my friends. The amount of pages per unlock doesn't seem that much at first. It only shows 2, but I'll warn you. The further you go into this, it increases. I'm already on like 9 required to unlock 1 page.
Yeah, so basically here from my point of view that everyone can see, I have 4 pages that are all worth 5, and then the rest of them are 9. So it increases very rapidly. But unlike last year, where you could only have a limited amount of pages at any given time, where I think it was only 30 spectral pages and then 30 processed pages. Maybe. Now you can have basically, I think, maybe an infinite amount. I don't exactly know what the limit is, but either way, it's been increased. Yeah, it's like either way, it has been increased, which makes this a lot more easier and convenient to do.
Right, and that's kind of funny too, because I remember last year they actually nerfed this because everyone farmed it out on like the first 2 days, because like if you literally sit down and just grind pages, it's honestly not that hard to do. Like for example, take your standard Nightfall activity, which is a high-end activity that you can do for matchmaking, right? Finishing that, which takes you about 18 minutes on average for them generally, will give you about 5 pages per run. Yeah. So take that, multiply it over the span of, I don't know, say half an hour or something like that. You can wind up with way more than 30 pages.
Yeah. Real quick, also, I've just completed the first seasonal challenge, which then gave me all the other seasonal challenges.
There you go. Now you can kind of show our audience what they're in for.
Yeah, basically, the first page is literally just manifest pages, which is what you're going to be doing no matter what. The most that you need to manifest in order to get the ship is 27, so that really shouldn't take too long. That should maybe be like 2 hours worth of grinding for you, really. So this is probably the easiest out of all of them. And then
that's just how efficiently you're doing it too.
Yeah, so. and then deeper in, you've got Headless Ones defeated. So this one would basically be 100 pages manifested. So that would likely take you a lot longer than that. Then Candy acquired 17.
That one's fairly easy. Just keep you wearing your mask everywhere, and you'll get tons.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of candy, but that one will take you a good little bit. That's probably like about a week worth in order to get that one. Then the Haunted Moon, Haunted Nessus, Haunted Europa, and Haunted EDZ. That one is probably just luck based, because you can get unlucky like we were, as well as lucky, and get the same activity in the same lost sector at the same, like, in a row. So yeah. You might get unlucky and be like, oh yeah, I need one more EDZ. I've completed all the other ones, but I keep getting the other ones. Like, that one's probably just a take you a while.
Plus, it might also be a weekly rotation bit too. That might also be something.
No, I don't think it's a weekly rotation, because I've had the Moon, I've had Nessus, and I've had the EDZ that yesterday and today. So
yeah.
I haven't had a Europa yet, but I'm willing to bet it's just random.
But so it is gonna be purely just luck based.
Yep. And here's defeat combatants with arc energy, pulse rifle, sniper rifle. That one's gonna take me a minute. Auto rifle. That one's gonna be done in like 5 minutes.
He does them a lot.
Yep. Here's the Savathun mask one. Haunted sectors completed. That actually would probably take a good minute. Not like you could probably get that one and the 100 headless ones done
around the same time.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet you'd probably have that done at the same time. And then the final one, which gives you both an Ascended Shard and the alloy. Just go through reset Reset your Festival of the Lost progress, which is complete all the challenges. So if you want a free Ascended Alloy, you got to get all of these challenges done, which for the most part, these are all actually just do activities. Like there's only 3 that are like, well, no, technically 4. There's 4 where it's like a specific requirement: defeat enemies in the X way. But for the most part, a lot of them are actually pretty generous.
Also, a word to the wise. There's a concept among triumphs known as gilding triumphs. So if you're chasing the actual title for this event, which is Ghost Rider, if you actually look at the triumph seal real quick, Justin,
Yep.
I'll show all of them there. You'll see that the first page is all triumphs you have to do. You actually do have to do 16 of the triumphs. Now, this is a bit deceiving, because if you count them, you'll probably count more than 16 here. Let's just count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's way more than 16 there. So all you need to complete is 16. See those ones in the very end of the page, like the second page on the bottom, that are kind of more
that aren't the season or aren't the event challenges, like the 4 that are at the bottom?
Bingo. Those ones you'll only need to do if you want to gild your triumph. This is basically a kind of system that's been introduced more recently in the last several years, where triumphs that are reoccurring, like for example, playlist triumphs and seasonal triumphs, as of recently, they can be gilded, which means every time that chance to earn them comes around, you can do these 4 kind of special challenges that kind of maybe will shift with the event. Maybe they won't. We'll see with the events. And that will gild the triumph. Basically, it means you can almost basically show how many times you've reinvested into it. And that keeps a counter next to your thing when you have, for example, your title seal. When you have the seal and you have the actual title name, when you click that title, it'll actually show you the amount of times you've gilded that title. It's kind of more of a prestige thing than anything else. But if you're just going for the actual seal itself and the title and you don't want to worry about gilding, the last 4 on this list, one of many, Mask Mayhem, Deathless One, Sweet Tooth,
Yeah,
for this event,
I would say Deathless One and Sweet Tooth are the 2 that would be the most easiest. Mayhem will be a little harder because you have to do harder activities. You might be able to farm out Master Nightfalls and dungeons, but anything other than that would probably be a little harder to do. It depends on how much progress you get, depending on what activity. The last one of many, that one I don't know how you would do. Defeat all the Headless Ones. Does that mean take part in every single kill, or... I honestly don't...
Possible. That is very possible.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what this one means. Like, does this mean summon and defeat every single one, or like?
Because there's no limit to how many you can summon.
Yeah,
so
there's technically no. Yeah, like there's technically no limit so long as you defeat the Headless Ones pretty much relatively as soon as you spawn them. Another one will spawn right away. So does this specifically mean you have to go and spawn them as soon as one spawns and defeat it, or is it just you have to take part in the kill of every single one that is spawned? I'd be willing to bet it's the first rather than the second, but
that's possible.
I would bet this one is something that you want to do with like a full 3-man fire team and just coordinate and be able to get like as many spawns as possible and make sure you take part in every single one.
Right.
But
like I said, you only need to get 16 of these done for the actual triumph itself. The last 4 you need to complete specifically for the gilding section itself. So if you don't want to go after the gilding, just focus on the easier one of the last 4.
Which, again, is all just the challenges, which is literally just take part in activities. There's only 4 challenges that require you to kill enemies in a certain way, and that likely won't take too long.
Right. Like, honestly, if you wanted to go straight for just the seal itself, just do the event challenges, because those are 16 in total, and you'll have yourself the thing. If you don't want to go for the gilding, just forget the last 4 entirely.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there you go. That's basically the entire event for you.
Right, and like you've been said, you know how to get your pages, you know where to put your pages.
You know where to dump off your candy as you collect it.
You know how to get your candy.
Good luck.
Yep. That's basically it.
So yeah. Basically, that's the Festival of the Lost. May sound simple, and it is a little simple, admittedly. But you know what? It's a grand excuse to go chase lore, which, at least for me, is enough, so...
And again, your postmaster will collect some of the candy that you get, so... I
Right,
don't
if you don't
know.
collect
I
all
don't
of
know exactly again what the exact parameter of what postmaster candy, like what candy will be collected by the postmaster and what won't. I'm willing to bet it's probably if you're doing the event activity, and then any other activity that would drop candy isn't gonna be picked up. So if you're
If you
doing
have...
like I don't know, but
Generally, the postmaster will collect anything you don't pick up. So let's say you go through the thing, you're like, oh shit, I forgot to get that last bit of candy. Don't worry, it'll show up at your postmaster.
yeah. I'd be, like it is. I'd be willing to bet the event activity, any candy you miss in that, which is going to be a lot of candy spawning, I'd be willing to bet all of it will go to the postmaster.
Right, if you don't get it.
Yeah.
But I would say the same thing with also regular activity as well. But then again, like I said, you'll be earning a lot of candy anyway, so
Yeah.
if you don't collect it all, don't worry. You'll get tons more.
Yep. All right.
But yeah, that's the Festival of the Lost. The grand headless hunt,
Yep.
so to speak.
And
Sponsored by Space Grandma.
and again, if you're interested in the Bright Dust, also there's a Star Horse mask. That's something that I've been seeing a lot of people get.
I've also seen the Star Horse, what's it called?
Oh, the Sparrow.
The Sparrow.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm like, oh my god,
I
people,
wish
people
that
are
was
gonna
like
go
that.
crazy over that.
I've seen that already. It's,
Well, but
it's so weird.
But basically, again, if you're looking for Bright Dust, now is your ultimate time to go farming for it, because you can get a lot of it from Eva, as well as if you're farming it from one of the playlist activities as well. I'd be willing to bet a combination of the two will definitely give you a large amount of Bright Dust.
Bingo. Oh, and one final thing we should mention. If you want to check how long the season's still going for, if you actually go to your quest tab, which you can show them, Justin,
Yep.
click on the thing for the event card, as was shown before, and if you look on the top right, it will show you two things. Your tickets that you've earned so far, as well as the event ends. This will give you the exact time at which the event ends. So it'll allow you to keep constant track of when the event ends, so you don't need to constantly look up online when is the event end.
Yes.
Just go here and it'll give you a
Which,
constant
under
update.
this scenario, the daily reset has just happened in our time zone at 12 o'clock. So,
About 1, actually.
well, 1 or
used to go
12, because it says an hour
was
ago. The event ends in 23 hours.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's...
I don't...
Technically, the event resets are.
I don't
but
know what it is, but from what I've gathered when it comes to weekly and daily resets, everything resets at 12 o'clock.
I think the daily resets at 12 and the weekly's at 1.
Maybe. I have to do
Because I
more.
could-
I have to do more calculations on that one, but either way,
I must go back to the lab.
the laboratory requires more development. I will have to
But
go to the
anyways.
field for now.
I must do some field tests.
But needless to say, this is basically what you'll be doing for the event. It's basically just extra free loot, really, for the most part. It's grindy, but it's a whole bunch of free
He's new.
like. But it's basically events like this are basically the best time to grind out materials and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no. If you're looking for times to grind Bright Dust, or say Eververse, which is the cosmetics shop, events are your best time to do it because, like I said, the event, like weekly events, weekly quests that Eva gives, which are the event quests.
Which
They
here,
give it,
I'll quickly run over and point out exactly what kind of bounty you want to grab. So basically, these are the kind of bounties, the additional bounties are the type of bounties you want to get, because unlike the playlist activities, these ones will give you actually a larger amount of Bright Dust as a reward. And then these are the weekly ones, which give you a good boost to XP as well as your other rewards. So overall, that's basically what you want to do. And then these are the daily reset bounties.
Right.
So
Your weekly bounties will give you about 250 bright dust apiece when you do them. I'm not sure about the event-specific additional ones. I know that additional bounties in general just give about 10 or 20, but maybe it's more for the additional bright dust. For the event-specific ones. I don't know. I'll be happy to prove it wrong.
yes.
But yeah.
Either way.
Oh, shoot. I could have one more epic mystery bag, but I'm legitimately one candy short.
Candy missing.
Candy missing. Disappointment increases.
Yes. But basically that's that. And yeah, happy farming.
Yep, happy farming, happy Halloween. Again, it's a little early, I know. It's like 2 weeks early. But this is our Halloween episode.
This is literally how it works for video games. If they have a Halloween event, it's likely going to happen before Halloween. That way it gives people time to actually, take part in the event rather than take part in it for a single day.
Can you imagine that? Like, literally, all this stuff, Festival of Lost. You have one day to do it. Go.
Yep.
Have fun.
That would actually be torturous for a game like TF2 that has like an entire map playlist, a whole variety of different game modes and activities for Halloween. Yeah, you have a single day to go through all of that.
Have fun.
It's like, yeah, you have a specific Halloween map that you really enjoy. You have one day to enjoy.
You got one day. The clock begins now.
The clock is ticking, gentlemen. Synchronize your death watches.
But anyways. So, yeah, there you go. That's the Halloween event, like we said. Hope you liked, hope you enjoyed. Like we said, I get it. It's early for a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
But we're doing it.
Yep. And besides,
So,
it's better to get this out of the way now. That way people know what they're getting themselves into in the event rather than doing this when the event's long been through the middle of it and people who likely wouldn't know already know, and anyone who wouldn't know at that point, well, would probably be able to figure it out. Yeah, they'd have a lot of catch up if they still didn't know what they were doing or were just not playing. So
But anyways.
now you know. Now you're prepared. If you do want to get into all this, you can.
Yep. But yeah, so I suppose that's
Actually,
it.
real quick, help me out here. While at the tower, I know there's a day-night cycle. Is it always going to be kind of nighttime during this event?
I think actually because of this specific event, they'll always have it nighttime just to add to the spooky event.
Okay.
Just to add to the spooky level.
So it's basically part 2 of the Eternal Night from Season of the Splicer.
Anyways, we'll let you go.
Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyways, have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the shtick. And as always, good night.